Good morning, Majo John Madden. It's about 50 degrees this morning at about 5:30. So I'm going to leave my hood up, knowing full well that if I was black in Florida or Texas, this could be grounds for legally shooting me. But I'm not in Texas and I'm not black. And I am in what I call my Tunnel Road, Ingles neighborhood, saying goodbye to the Beaucatcher, Tunnel Road, Ingles neighborhood. There's the Beaucatcher sign, the hotel where I've spent a total of 4 weeks, I think, over couple of 3 months. Down in that direction on Tunnel Road is the famous Beaucatcher Tunnel, where the tradition was among the Appalachian guys to beat their horn as they drive through there, which was terrible for me when I was riding my bike through there 20 years ago. And it goes through Beaucatcher Mountain, which Appalachian tradition says is where the girls would go to find their beaux. The most indelible high. So I'm saying goodbye to this neighborhood now because I'm moving over to the Salvation Army shelter. Hope something. Where I could be as long as 6 months, rent free. And there are some great people I know who are already there, and nobody ever says a bad word about Salvation Army shelter. And I'm moving there today because when they heard I was going to be moving out to the street, Cal, the big guy there, said, "Can't do that, too cold. We'll have you sleep in the lobby until there's a lower bunk for you." So it's very exciting. Saved me from the street. Yesterday I had woken up in absolute terror of going back out on the street for probably as much as 17 days. The most indelible memory, behind the Candlewood Suites, which has only been there 4 years and ruined the view from the Ingles, somewhere in the woods up there lives Sarah and her wonderful service dog Blue, pit bull, gorgeous, too loving, all over the place. Maybe one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. I'm guessing 35. Brain damage from a romantic partner who hit her with a hammer. Stroke sufferer with the left side of her face a little droopy. I told her in our one face-to-face encounter ever at Ingles that she has a handsome face that looks a little indigenous. And she said, "Anything else but ugly, I think it's ugly." And that girl, good dancer, lives in a camp with 4 other partners who run a clean camp and all go to the same rehab place. And she just celebrated a year sober. And that girl has rescued a dog that she found possibly still on fire from being dosed with gasoline and set on fire. And she brought that dog back to be a good, wonderful dog. And Blue she found starving. And he's a fabulous dog. So, Sarah, we never had Asheville. We talked a lot about getting you in and out of the cold. She wanted a shower. But after her history with men, how's she going to come down to a man's room in the motel? No. I tried a million things to reassure her, but no. But she's out there. She's out there, and she knows how to weather the cold. Other indelible characters. Blanche, who works at the Ingles, 82, tiny, very bent over, doesn't mind the late hours, was my cashier at the Westgate Plaza CVS store when I worked at the Earth Fair there 5 years ago. And when I said to Hannah, one of the customer service junior managers at Ingles, how happy I was to see Blanche, Hannah won big marks by saying, "We love our Miss Blanche." And they do. And I said that to Blanche the other day, and she says, "I know they do. That's why I come back. To have a team to work with that loves you." Other indelible characters. The McDonald's, with all the windows covered up with something or another. And they put something on the floor that makes it too slippery in my red shoes, which I'm wearing today. Could fall down just from standing still in that place. And I met a black woman, Sabrina, I think, who was mighty. Too old to be a Juanitos People mentoring client, and she doesn't need me, but I'll remember her. And I'll remember the Burger King down the way, which has a much better window for sitting in, faces the east, and Tunnel Road. Wonderful sound system, but cannot staff the place. For a week now, their sign has been empty, and their inside has been empty. They're just doing drive-thru because they can't get workers. At that same corner is the Chun's Cove Road, which goes up to the Social Security. And back into that mountain on the other side at that same spot is the Office Depot, which is the only store still working at a plaza that's mostly closed down, and where the cops ran me out for trying to sleep on the sidewalk. Asha, a shout out to Asha, my host for 4 weeks, who the other night gave me a beer from his own stash, a really nice Michelob Oktoberfest. And I'm going to give him the beer I have left here because I'm not going to drink today. Going into the Salvation Army shelter. And I've got a Beta Turbo Dog that's a killer beer that I bet he'll like. So I'll give him that. $500 a week. They've raised the price, I think. They took the old $500 a week sign down and they haven't put up a new sign. But it's higher at leaf season. But a damn nice hotel. Really nice. Not perfect. Mostly they don't make it up. Miriam runs is Latina and I think is the house. No, she's got some pregnant Latina girl works with her. And so they'll clean my place when I leave today. I'll leave them a good tip. So goodbye. Tunnel Road, Ingles, Beaucatcher neighborhood. You've been a good neighborhood for me. You have. I'm grateful to the mountain, to the people, and to life, whatever the hell that is. Something bigger than me.